Hi everybody, Heather Coleman here, intuitive medium, spiritual coach, and Reiki and energy work practitioner. I also read auras. So I'm tuning into the energy here and selecting the 3 cards that we're going to have. I was tuning in to see if I could pick on how many, and then the answer came very clearly that it's going to be 3. And it's so interesting because for the last several weeks we've had a lot of messages coming through about money and this being a really good year for money. The guides right now are saying that they've already told us that message and they've given it to us again. And that's why we're not going to have a card from the suit of earth or money, because they're saying we've already spoken on that. And if you're new to my readings, feel free, if you're on Facebook, to scroll down. If you want to see some of those videos from the last few weeks, if you're on YouTube, visit my channel, maybe subscribe. It's interesting though, I think we are going to have a major arcana, and interesting, very interesting. We have the energy of the fairies, which I can really feel very strongly, and those of you that are sensitive to energy, you might be feeling this as well. The energy, the fairies come up when there's a lot of aspect of things we have no control over. They help us to remember what we can control and to release any attachment to what we can't control. The internal locus of control, working on your self-control, something you've already been doing. Interesting, the King of Spring. We're going to start with that card. The energy is really swirly today, more than a lot of days. This would be showing up as you, again, a financial windfall. The first card that they draw me to read for you. Stepping into leadership energy. And I believe this is representing you here this week. More support for the things that you feel called to do. Maybe in the past, there are things you've wanted to do, maybe things that you still do, that you did not feel others understood or supported. But this card is here to tell you that that's going to change. Sometimes you don't even realize you're supposed to step into something unless and until people say you need to do this. A great example in my life was my psychic career. I was a fitness professional, and when people started saying you should do this professionally, you should do readings, I said, well, I already have a career, right? And but I was called to do this. People literally kept coming to me more than once. So if there's something like that happening for you, listen to the call. Again, a lot of times when people encourage you to do something, I need to click out of this thing, it's driving me crazy. There it is. People encourage you to do something. They say, I'll help you. That's often the divine speaking through these people that you know, telling you this is your path, this is your purpose. So again, okay, in terms of a financial windfall, for some of you that's going to be maybe an unexpected boost in your earnings. Maybe a raise that you didn't see coming, or maybe something you've been asking for, but it happens more quickly or more easily than you expected. Some of you it could be so many forms, and some sort of a financial windfall coming in for you. So we're going to put our King of Spring aside, and we're actually going to tap into a water element mudra to help boost this energy and help bring in whatever it is that you're calling in, whether it is that financial windfall, whatever it is that you might be wanting right now. Shakti mudra, and this is part of yoga. This is amazing for inner well-being, activation, and spiritual potential. It's good for directing awareness to the base of the body. Really good for the urinary system. I feel like some of you might be having some issues there. Drinking more water will help. Cheers. And you'll notice that Shakti mudra is also said here to be good for your creative power. So we're going to take the palms facing each other and join the tips of the ring and pinky. So ring and pinky fingers, let's see. Index and middle are around the thumb, so these to touch. I open and allow. So it looks like this from the front. Let's see. Well, I showed you the picture for what you'll see. Okay, the mantra is, I open and allow the divine potential within to emerge. Let's say it again 2 more times together. I open and allow the divine potential within to emerge. One more time. I open and allow the divine potential within to emerge. Awesome. I can feel that energy. Whenever I do mudras like this one, I really can feel it. It's very powerful. We're going to bring us, that is going to bring us right to assertiveness. This deck is no longer in print, but I went with it anyway because I feel like it goes really well with our fairy tarot. This is Messages from the Fairies. Now, Doreen Virtue, as many of you know, is no longer in this kind of realm, but still a great deck of cards. I had this from before. Again, I just feel like it goes really well with our Fairy Tarot by Bradley Valentine. And we have assertiveness. We've had this message coming through for several weeks of standing up for what you believe in. Also, only saying yes if it's a true yes for you. Kids tend to be really good at tuning into themselves and only saying yes to what's good for them. If they're tired, they'll just be like, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to say yes to doing this thing if I'm tired and I need to rest, for example. Sometimes, personally for me, I can remember what it was like to be a young person who I didn't even think overly about other people's needs. It's just naturally kids and teenagers will prioritize their rest. They'll sleep in or whatever it might be. So this, I don't think, is only talking about that, but that's a really good example of just, honoring your own limits and saying no to things, right? Often summer is a busy time. You don't have to say yes to every invitation. And I think that's all that's coming through on this. So we're going to set this aside. Next, we're going to the High Priestess. Again, this is from our Fairy Tarot deck. Really trusting your own intuition this week is going to be really important and your superpower. We have the book here. A lot of times we see Archangel Haniel pictured on this card with this book, and it's been a while since I've looked into this, but you can always Google this too if you're curious. But I feel like right now your potential is especially high for tapping into universal wisdom. So pay attention to your dreams. I feel like some of you are getting flashes of what are past life memories for you, and you might be questioning this, but you shouldn't. You should really just trust it. If you ever want to take a deeper dive into your past lives, we can do a past life reading. Just reach out to me. I apologize for this. My eyes are a little dry this morning. Okay, careful reflection before taking action. The interesting thing about summer for many of us is that we have this increased daylight, this productivity, but for many of us, we're putting that extra energy into our social lives, our hobbies, our homes. Sometimes our careers are just in a maintenance period for many of us. And so that's where summer can be a great time to reflect on the direction you'd like to see your career go, what you might like to develop. Again, I apologize. I'm squinting at all of you, but it's just that my eyes are dry here today. But insights that come through meditation. I just watched a YouTube video that I want to talk briefly about. And I've been seeing this come up a lot in my own self-study of history. It's only the last, however long we've had electricity, that we sleep in what's supposed to be an 8-hour cycle. Up until then, humans would go to sleep around sunset, maybe a little before, a little after, when the temperature would drop, no matter what time of year it was. Wake up, depending on the time of year, humans would wake up for anywhere from 1 to 3 to 4 hours during the night. It was often said this is the best time for a baby to be conceived. People would maybe just lay awake and meditate. This is the part I want to talk about. People would sometimes just lie awake quietly with their bodies still relaxed like sleep. That was meditation for ancient people. Many of the ancient tribes, I'm talking 100,000 years ago or more, and we all had past lives then. I remember a little bit about mine. Life was different, but that was meditation for ancient people for the most part. Mostly with the tribal people, we're talking like when we lived outdoors, no one knew what a farm was or an iPhone or a laptop. The meditation was when people would awake during the night and often just lie still, or sometimes, again, depending on the time of year, visit a neighbor, joke, story tell, even dance, wake up and dance in the middle of the night, go back to bed after like an hour. So that leads me, you can't make this stuff up because I just deliver these messages. Night of Winter would be the Nine of Swords nowadays when we wake up at 3, 4 in the morning, the reason we get anxious is we think we're not supposed to be awake. Fuck it. If you can't just easily go back to sleep, turn on a guided meditation, do some journaling. If you know anyone that'll be up, call them and just chat. Hang out with your pet. If you have a little bit of energy, just do something around your home. I don't personally, I do like most of my housework in the morning, especially this time of year when my energy is high. But if you have the energy to do a few little things around your house, do it. Whatever it is, you could even cook. The point is, don't stress over it. A lot of our issues nowadays come from two things that we were not wired for in terms of how we evolved. One is one-phase sleep. Right up until 100, 200 years ago, we were biphasic sleep, okay? That's one thing. The other thing, we're going against nature and we don't realize it, is raising kids alone. Oh, actually, there's a lot, but what was the... Oh, hold on. They were saying one thing, now they're saying another. Let me see what the guides are saying. The isolation, doing so many things alone. So like people didn't sleep alone. It wasn't just a spouse. Like people would sleep in clusters. So that leads to a lot of anxiety, depression, is thinking we're supposed to sleep all in one shot, which our bodies didn't evolve to do that. We also didn't evolve to raise kids with only one parent or two parents and other people not real involved. That's one thing that is really, when people say parenthood is so hard, well, it's because honestly nowadays as a collective it's being made hard because people aren't doing it as a tribe. I don't have answers to this, but give yourself a break if you're finding things hard. And again, interesting, because this tells me that I don't know a lot about who I'm reading for today. We've got some new people. Maybe you're at my channel for the first time. If you're on YouTube, though, and this is speaking to you, give a like, subscribe, leave a comment. It helps us to reach more of the right people. Marriage. Maybe some of you are newly married, either for the first, second, or maybe the third time. If it seems really hard, part of that is because society has given many of us very unrealistic expectations of what marriage should be. Many of us have come from divorced households, so we've never seen what a good marriage can look like. Set your own rules. Stop looking for a precedent. That's another thing. What else? I feel like at least a few of you, maybe like 2 or 3 of you that are finding my video, you're probably married for the second or third time and you're like, how come this is so easy? Because congratulations, you chose someone healthy and you've done the work. Those of you, you're going to know if you're going, how come the second or third marriage doesn't feel like a big, huge compromise in this? Because you don't have to compromise hard when you're with the right person who does the work, right? Okay. Anything else? Oh, so for those of you that are not married and are not close to marriage, I mean, I'm talking about if you're not even in a relationship or you're not in a serious relationship. Some of you, I feel like, need a long time to process the marriage that you got out of earlier in life. I know that's my experience, and I'm sorry for the eyes doing this today. I don't know why. That's a spiritual thing. That wasn't happening this morning. Okay, some of you have really dry eyes. Maybe it's time to go to the allergist. I just realized that's not my eyes. That's happening for a reason. Yeah. Maybe some of you just need more sleep. Sometimes your eyes will get squinty if you need more sleep. Energy work can help with that too. Yeah, because I think it's starting to go away now. Maybe. I hope. Okay. Oh, why does this keep happening? All right. Some of you, I think, are in a marriage. Yeah, this has got to be happening for a reason. It's like your eyes are slowly starting to open. Don't feel bad if you didn't see what was going on in your marriage earlier. Welcome to the I Got Out of a Tarot Marriage Club. Join it with me. It's a fun party we have. What else are they saying? There are things we just couldn't see early in life. If the eyes, because it's like I was trying to open my eyes and I literally couldn't. So if you are awakening, it might not just be a marriage. It might be a situation with a narcissistic person. It could be a work environment. It could be anything, anyone in your life. If you're starting to say, this is so crappy, how did I get into this? How did I not see it? Literally, sometimes we just can't until we've lived a certain amount and learned certain things. So doesn't matter how you got here. What matters is how you're handling it now and what you're going to do going forward. Yep, the eye thing went away completely. How about that? It was a message. Mm-hmm. Eyes are fine now. Eyes are open wide now. I have no trouble keeping them open. So that would be a message for you too. Some of you might be worried about situations repeating in your life because there have been patterns, but you're not. Can't make this stuff up. A video just popped up on my YouTube from this coach that I really like. I really like this guy's approach, his way of explaining things, Coach Ryan. He talks a lot about avoidance. If you've dated an avoidant, may the force. This video, you can't make this stuff up. He says, someone who got out of a narcissistic relationship will often afterward date an avoidant and think, crap, I'm repeating the pattern. Not exactly. It affects your nervous system in a similar way, but it's still progress. Okay, it's still a step up if you've had that. Some of you are feeling like you keep dating the same person over and over. It's like anything, you have to practice. If you got into something that was so insanely unhealthy that you're like, dude, it may take a little time for you to keep practicing showing up differently and choosing people differently. And there is growth and there is improvement. It's more like, look at the patterns over time. Because you got to keep in mind, if you've gotten out of a horrific relationship, like I did, for some people might get lucky. They might get out of a relationship with a total douchebag. I don't mean just someone who isn't pleasant. I mean someone who's like a hidden criminal, pedophile. Yeah, that kind of thing. It's for many of us, it's not realistic after just 2 years after that to be like, oh my God, I found the best, healthiest, most spiritually enlightened, like, person who communicates well and they're always present. It's like, it might take us a little time to like heal the wounds, and we might have a pattern of people that we go through to get there. It doesn't mean you're not going to get there. It's just that like, you might know people that got out of a relationship that they think was so bad and it was nothing like yours. And like 2 years later, they find Prince Charming or Princess Charming, and it's like, you're like, okay. Okay. Yeah, just cut yourself some slack. Just listen to see what else is coming through. This is such an interesting reading this week. Fairies bonking us on the head saying, wake up, it's summer, have fun. Try to take life a little bit lightly and enjoy your summer. As adults, life can begin to feel so heavy that we forget to play. The fairies want you to play. How can you have more fun? What do you like to do? Let's set that as a high priority right now. And that's what we've got for this week. I hope these messages serve you well. My website is heatherlcoleman.com. As always, it's a pleasure to connect with you, and have a wonderful week.